Hi guys, so we'll continue building our page. We are done with the first section and the second section. We're done with this part and this part. So we'll move forward with working on this part. So on this section we have a background image, which is here, and a text, another text, and a button to the left side left side of the screen. So we have a container for the background image. Then we have a role in the container so that we can move this section to the so that we can move this section to the left. Then after the row to move this to the left, we have another container here to be able to set the width. Because if we did not put the container, this text will just go flying over here. This text will go flying over here. So we have another container to set the width to be like about 40% of the whole container. Then we have our text, change the font, change the size, then our button. That should be very simple. So let's do that together. So we have a row. No, we need a container outside. So we're starting with the container. Let me drag this out first. So we have a container, then we want a row in it. A row. Then we want to put say a row, they want to put a container in it to be able to like move those content to the left side. This one. So we have our container already. So let's go take some text. Text. We want a big one and a smaller one. I can just duplicate this and change the size, but this is fine. Then we want a button. This one. So we want this. So usually I would have put my button. I would have just done something like this. Let me duplicate this before it finishes. I would have put my button in like a container and a row. I'll take that again. So usually we would have added our button. Like look at this button up here. We added it in a row in a container that is in a row. So that we can use the container to set the width and the row to set the position. But in this case, we most likely not have to have that because let's just do that. Let's just do that. Ah, Jesus Christ. So we can just use this. This is fine as well. So drag our button in it. This button. Fine. We'll set our container to auto. So to be, I told you that when the container is set to auto, the size will be like um this. Let me take that again. When a container is set to auto, it's the size is relative to the size of the content. So if the content increases, the size of the container will increase as well. So that's it. So since now I want this thing to be aligned equally. So I will remove the padding on the side of the container and the row because I want that part of it. So padding left and on the container padding left so that it's aligned. What else are we doing? Okay, let's also the container here we are going to reduce. We're going to position it to the left. So let's reduce the size. So let's say 40%. So let's get our text. Are you looking for a good vendor? This is too big. To say 4. Then the other text as well. This is too big. To say 4. Then the other text as well. Our font family as well as this. So that should look good. Let's save this and look at how it looks like. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so let's move on. Now let's add the background image to this content section here. So we are going here, background settings, background image, change image. So this is the image I used. So this is the image I used. Now let's do the background settings. No repeats. Set it to cover. And we can do top, right, or top left. That's how it looks like. So save, then view it on the. Now that's nice, right? So we're almost done. Now let's change our colors and position it very well. So this should be white, same as this. This should be the size of this should be like large. It should be four. Okay, that's fine. So let's change the color of this. Yes, I'm copying it from this previous one. And our text we have visit our store. Let's add some space. Now this space is quite poor, so let's work that on our page as well. Let's add some margin top. So margin top for this should be, let's say 20. I think this is big. Let's reduce the padding here to 20. Save and let's see. Okay, the space here is not enough, so let's add some space. And we'll be adding space here as well. Look at. So let's increase the margin top. So 30 up to 5. Also, let's add margin top to this section. Say 50. Basically, we can add an empty container, but let's just use margin top. Save changes and view. Now this looks quite the same. We need more space here because it's too close. If you look at, no, it's too close. So let's add some margin top. Can you see enough? Okay, I think it's fine. Yes, fine. Yeah, so this works. Now I feel the space here is quite a lot compared to this place. So we can reduce that. We can reduce that here. Actually, you can reduce it anyway. Just reduce the entire space. Okay, that's now that's fine. That's fine. Although I feel we can add a little bit space up here, so but I feel that, but this is okay. Looks good, right? Now that's fine. We're done with that section. Now here we be having a row as the external container. Now a row that has, because a row is what we use to position this thing this way, creating this space. Now a row, a container, so this does not go beyond container here as well, a container here as well. Now, but I also like to add a row here so that I can position this icon. I'll take that again. Now in this section, we'll be working with a row first because it's best to analyze what we want to do so that it's easier to just go ahead with it. So we want a row to be able to um, set the position of this content we'll be using about around or between alignment. So we use a row to separate them this way. That's one. Now we also need a container for each content so that this does not spill over, this does not spill over, and this does not spill over. So we want a container. So a row, a container, a container, a container. Also, I would also like to add a row here just for this content so that I can align it, because icons cannot be aligned by themselves. They cannot align, unlike text, whereby you have left, center, and right. But icons cannot align themselves. So you want a row to align this icon to be in the center. So a row, a container, and a row for this. That's basically all we're doing. Then some spaces, adding patterns and margins. So let's start with that. So we have this a row, we have a container. So a container here we can do for one, then duplicate all three. If you get what I mean. So let's add an icon. So what we are doing is, oh, remember I said that we'll be adding a row for our icon. So what we are doing is, oh, remember I said that we'll be adding a row for our icon. So we can use the row to position the icon properly. So we have our icon in the row. This is a row, right? Center. That's that. Then we need some text. Yes, two text. Let's just use normal text and duplicate it to text. I think that's all. So first one we having fast shipping. I said we can align text by themselves without using a row, but you cannot do that with icons. So this fast shipping, make it bold, increase the size about 3x, I think. Then our font family. Okay, now. Then the other one is this. Align it to the center as well. Set the font family to now. I think increase it to about large. This should be fine. Yeah, I think so. But I think this is too big, so let's make it about 2. Or let's try 3. 3x, and let's see. So the distance, the space now. Let's work on that. So we can just duplicate each one. And also let's add an icon. Let's set our icon as well. So here you can search for icons. So fast shipping, let's look for carts. And we're using this one. I'm increasing the size. Now the color is a primary color. So this is the color. It's fine. Now that works. Let's set our space, our margin. I think this is just needs a little bit as well. Now that should be fine. Now let's duplicate our content. I want to set each one to about 25% of the page and duplicate it into 2. Now, okay, so now we'll align this contents. Now, I'm not sure. I think I've explained this part already. If we set them to center, they all go to the center. If we set them to end, they all go to the end. However, I want them to be separated, so I can either use between separate it to the edge, center to the end, but around brings them a bit closer and have space at the side of the page. So between sets them to start, middle, end, start, center, end, but around like brings it a bit closer while giving it space in the middle. So we're using around. So if we save now to view it on the live link, this is how it looks like. Exactly what we want, right? So what we can just do is change the content. So here we want affordable price. I'll just copy all of this. This as well. And this we want 100% satisfaction guarantee. This as well. And this we want 100% satisfaction guarantee. So the text is this. Now the font of this one is a dollar bill. I think it was money. I think it was, yes, it was money. And this was let's see, I think it was backspace. Yeah, backspace. Right, so let's save our changes and let's see how it looks like. Yeah, I feel this looks good. Yeah, it looks good. What's wrong? Something is wrong. Oh, okay. I think I found what's wrong. There's padding. The padding here is actually like shocking the content. So you can either increase this to about the 3%, and let's see how it looks like. Let's see. Um, this is the three. The three. Let's see. Now this is not what we want. So let's take it back to 25 and remove the padding. 25 and remove the padding right and left. So we don't want padding at the side. That's fine. So when we save this, what do we have? Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, I still think something is wrong. I think the text, the heading text is still quite big. So this should be two. This should be two. This should be two. Let's reload. Yeah. Now this is what we want. This is what we want. Yes, this is what we want. So I guess it was not really the padding. We can add little padding to it. So probably like padding 5. Just some little 5. 5. Let's say 5. 5. So I think this is fine. Yes, this looks okay. Yeah, this is fine. So I guess we'll just add space here, add some margin. That's alright. So we want some margin for the whole container. Let's add margin top. Margin top about 50. Save. Now that's fine. Now that's fine. Now there's something you will notice. This is the color here is not pure white. It's not white, so we'll work on that as well. So this is our page so far. Yeah, if you ask me, this looks pretty good. Now we'll be working on the next section. So in this section, we'll be building this part here, our best selling products, as well as this last opt-in form. So we have just two more sections to go. So now in this section, we're having a heading here and header here. So and the products and their name. Will I say their name? Yes. Products. So we're having it. Now this section is quite tricky, considering that compared to this will be quite different. Now when we are done, I will show you what I'm referring to. This particular section, when you are viewing it on a mobile phone, a mobile screen, it's going to be they're all going to be on a column. They're all going to be on a straight line. That's each content. This is under, and this is under, and this is under. But however, because this content here is quite much, it's a lot. This is 8 images, 8 products. Let me use the word products. Now, if I'm to they are to all to get aligned on a column, it's going to be like a long page. So what I did is I put them in twos. So two of this image will show on a line, two of this image will be under, and this two will be under those image, and this two will be under this image. So when we are done, you will see it on the mobile screen and on the tablet as well. Because if they are to go one, the page will be very long on mobile screens. So but compared to desktop, you can have all them on just a single column. On a single row, I mean. So let me take all that again. Really, I think I messed up. I was excused. Now on this section, we have an header, right? An header with a divider right here. So on this other one, now compared to the first list of products we had here, when you are viewing this particular one on mobile screen, it would be on a single column, just one. Yeah, this under it, under it, under it. And I made that way because this is like a major category and the contents are not quite much, it's just four. But compared to this one, whereby the contents are doubled, so I decided to align them in two columns. So these two right here, and these two will go under it, these two will go under it, and these two will go under it. So it will be two columns for mobile screen and tablet. But in desktop, you can also see them, they're on a single row. So do you understand that what we're doing? So we're having this section, this like this, then we'll be having a button right under it. But remember, I said we'll be working. This will be for mobile view. These two will form two columns. That's one and two. While these other two will go right under it. So we're having two columns and four rows. Now let's go build. So let's duplicate our rows and column. So we need more of it. So how do we achieve that? Okay, so first of all, we need a row and a container, right? So in the container, remember we want two sections. This we want to put this content in twos, in twos, in twos, in twos, not one. So we have a row, a container. We want another row and a container in it. So this container here will contain the image and the text. Okay, so we want our image and text. So let's put our image placeholder. Image, then text. Right under this. So we can duplicate this container because we want it in twos. So this what we have here is just these two. We have two containers in a row. Now this row is for each of this row. This is a row. So if we want another one another row, we'll duplicate this container right here. So it'll be two containers. So let's just work with this. We have image. Okay, we have this image. Let's import the images. So we'll be having this image and this one. So which one is it? Okay. Now text. So bold, I make it small, they're both small. They should be bold, align to the center, bold, align to the center. And our font family. Now remember we need some space between this, so we're adding some margin. We need space between the picture and the text. We have margin top, margin top. Let's make it 12. Let's see how that looks. Also, I can decide to add I can set the size of the image, but I think they are almost the same thing. They are about the same images. The size of the image is quite the same, so I'm not setting it. So now we have for two. Now let's duplicate it. Now I told you that we'll be duplicating the container, this container here, because this is what is going to divide them into two. So we're having double of this. So we have the first section, second section. Because I want this to container, this is the row that is controlling the positioning. So I want on smaller view, I want this whole container to be a column like this, stacked on each other. So it sets it back to row. So this is the row that is controlling the positioning of this content. I'll work on the content later, but I want to just explain the logic here. So this is the row, right? So we have two contents in the row. So I want this row on mobile screen to set this to a column. So see both of them. So we'll do the same thing for the other set of two. This other set. This is the first set, so that set as well. So in that case, we'll duplicate the entire row. So we'll be having four sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So but let's edit this as well so that it looks good before we duplicate it. So we won't have to do the work twice. So let's remove some paddings here. Let's say so let's say this, let's reduce the padding here to like 10 or 15. Let's say 15. This also to 15. This as well to 15. And this to 15. That's for this one. We don't need the spaces. We want it as closed up as possible. So we have padding 2. Same with this, padding 2. Also this one as well, I think we can make it padding 2. I'm coming a sec. Let's do about 30 and let's see how this looks like. Let's set it to 2. Let's see how it looks like. 2 padding, 2 padding. So, oh yeah, one other thing, we did not set the size for these containers. The containers that is holding the images. I'm not sure that was needed. That is needed though, but let's see how it looks like. Let's set this and see how it looks like on the screen. Yeah, it's nice, right? We just need to make it a bit sad. So this is what I feel we'll do. We'll take, wow. Now this is a container that holds both of them. We'll set the size to 40%. The container that holds these two as well, set the size to 40%. Now center the content. Do you understand? Now I know these lines are quite almost together. The first one, this is the first container, right? That's holding each individual content. If you this icon actually moves to the parent, it moves to the parent of the parent and keeps going like that. So if you start from this image, right, and click on this, it goes to the container, which is the parent of the image. So now this container holds individual contents. Now if you move forward again, it is the row that holds both of them. This row can make both of them column or row, but we don't really need that. We just need those ones aligned. Now if we go to the parent of that is the container. the container that holds all the contents of these two contents. So we're setting that to 40% because we don't want it to be as wide as it was before. Look at the way this is. We just want it to be a small section of the screen, both of them. So this is 40%, 40%. So if we save now and view our screen and reload this is what we have. Now this looks way better. It's almost the same thing. Oh, we forgot we've not done our header. We've not done our header, so we'll work on that right now. So we have this already. So what we just do is just duplicate the entire row, because this is the entire row. This is the container that's containing the whole content. So we want to duplicate the entire row. We are duplicating this. We're having double of it. So if you save it right now and view this, our work here is almost done. You're having this entire thing. So we just have to change the image and the text. So I'll take that again. So we have the because the aim of this whole section is to have them in two, so that for smaller screen we can have two. Because if you look at it this way, we work on all our small screens. On our smaller screen, we can have them as this is a row. Have them like this. Because this is the aim. This is the aim of what we're trying to do. We're trying to have them as, I'm coming, let me move that right here. Have them in twos. I should have gotten here right now, but I want to just explain what we're trying to do. Have them in twos this way. But compared to this part, we can't have them in twos because they are all individual content. Look at this is the entirety of it. Unless you want to have it like in four, which would not look nice. So we want this to be in twos because it is quite a lot, and we don't want it spanning all through down. The page will be so long. So we are trying to like work on it. So let's go back to our desktop view. So we are grouping them in twos. So we have a container here, another container here, that is being held together by a row, right? And inside that row is having a container so that we can set the size. That's why we have 40%. And because we're having two of it, that's why we are putting things in a row, so that this row can control how they look. I hope you got that. So now let's work on our header. All we can do is just come here, since it's almost the same thing, and duplicate this. So we are dragging this down. You can use this icon here to keep pushing the content to your lights down. Look at it right here. So we'll just then change the text. Our best selling product. I think that's fine. So we'll actually look at how that looks like on the screen in a second. So now let's change all the images. Let's just upload the right images to it and the text. So we have this. So you're here. Now if your image is not quite they're not of the same sizes, you can just set the height to probably like maybe 100. Set of them to have 100 height. 100 is quite small. Let's say 150. Let's say 140. If we set them, they will probably be sized the same way. Look at, if I set this one 150, 140, 140, everything will be the same size. But because my images are of the same size, so that's why I left them to work. Okay, so this is okay, we're changing the image to this. And this is okay. And finally, so now I can change the text. Download form. So that is done. So let's save and see how it looks like on our screen. Yeah, I think it looks good. Yep, yep, yep. Or maybe we can add a little bit space here, but aside that, I think that's perfect. Yeah, so this is fine. So sometimes it's best to look at your design or your page from right from the top so that you can get the feel. To download form. So that is done. So let's save and see how it looks like on our screen. Yeah, I think it looks good. Yep, yep, yep. Or maybe we can add a little bit space here, but aside that, I think that's perfect. Yeah, so this is fine. So sometimes it's best to look at your design or your page from right from the top so that you can get the feel. Yeah, this looks good. So this looks perfect. So the next thing we want to do is even our divider looks okay. It looks good. So the next thing we want to do is add our button. Then we'll do the last section. So we're adding the button. I think we can duplicate the button somewhere. Let's see. The beauty of this thing is because once you have done it once, you can just duplicate it instead of starting over again. So we have a button here. Although we align it, but we can duplicate this button and drag it right out. Drag it down, come down. Right under, yeah. Nope, it has to come out because that is like in a row. Okay, let's do this way. Let's add it right under here. So we can move this up. So we are setting to the center. We are removing the padding. We are going to add back the padding, or probably remove all the paddings. Anyone. So we have this. We have this as well. I think we remove the padding left. So this is fine. Let's see. We need a long. Okay, I think it's quite longer. So we can remove the padding right left on this one. Let's save and view. Our button is small and far away, so let's correct that. So far away, we can remove the padding top and bottom. Set all the padding here to 15. That's closer. And smaller, we can add increase the. You know what? Let's use this. Let's use the container to set the body. So we can set this to 100%. So we're setting it to 100% of the container. I'm set 25. So this should be fine. So what I'm doing is I set the size for the container. I'm setting the button to 100% of its container. So that can give us. Let's see how that looks like now. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Even as wide as this. which is fine as well. It says visit view store, view store, and the size of the text is more, right? View store, even the font family is Avena, so let's increase it. I think it's reduced. Save and view. Yep. Or I feel the size is still quite big, so let's reduce it to 20 and save it. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. Just stop. This is perfect. So this is there. This is house. So this is our section. I think it looks good. The space is quite enough, and it's fine. So far, our page looks so good. So this section, to this section, to this section. So now it's time to build the last one, the last section. Okay, so what we want to do is this. So in this section, we have two separate content. So we have this side and we have this side. So this side is about we have a container for we have a row. Okay, this is how we work. Let me take that again. Take that again. So in this section, it's quite simple actually. First of all, we have a background image. So I told you that can only use a container for a background image. So we have a container, right? Now, because we have two separate contents in it, we have a row in the container so that we can use the row to separate these two contents. So we have a container for the background and a row to separate the content. That's two. So for each content, we have a container to set the size, to set the width. So we have a container for this and a container for this. So we're having a container here and text. So in this one, we're having a container. Now, you can as well put in the form in the container, but because I want the container to be aligned to the center, so I'll put a row inside the container, then focus on the form. I hope you get that. So that's basically what we're doing. Then be setting this part, matching and padding. So let's do that. Now remember we need a where are we? No, not here. I want one here. Wait, let me put it out right here. So we need a container for the background. Then we need a row to position those contents. Then we need a container. Basically, we need two containers because there are two separate contents, one here and the other here. So in this first container, we'll be putting in text input. Since it's two text inputs, duplicating it. So duplicate this too, which is fine. So we can set our text. Then this other one, like I said, I want to put a row in the container. I want to put a row in this container so that I can position my form to the center, because containers cannot position content. So I want a row. I think this is a row. Yes. I want a row. Then I'll put my form. This is my form, email opt-in form. Yeah, I'll delete this. I don't need this text. So look at I can center my form. So this is why I'm putting my row for form. But basically you can just add the container in it if you wish. Now in this form, if you click on the form, you'll be asked to you'll be asked if you want to add phone numbers. So you can just uncheck it if you don't want phone numbers. If you don't want customers to add phone numbers, you can just uncheck that. So let's start from here. Do you really care for your hair? So you can say you want the text. Okay, let's start the text first. Right? Remember this should be small. I think it's quite small. This should be like about, oh, please cut that place out. So this should be small, this should be small, and this should be like about probably quite large actually. So it will be bold. It's quite bold, right? Yes, bold. And the font family is available for both of them. Since that's our primary font family. Please cut that place out. So this should be small, this should be small, and this should be like about probably quite large actually. So it will be bold. It's quite bold, right? Yes, bold. And the font family is available for both of them. Since that's our primary font family. So this now before we continue, let's add a background image. Now background image is nope, not color. Check the background image. Change background image. So we'll be using this right here. So that's fine. So no repeats. Remember our basic styling. Cover, top left. Maybe we can do top center. And this is fine. Now let's go and change the color of our text to white. So white. This is fine. So what else do we need to do here? I think that's the text. I think that's fine. Now, yeah, so the size of this thing should be about 40% of the screen, and the size of this container here should be about 50%. And I'm setting them, this is the row that controls the position, so we're setting it to be around so they can both get separated in a way. So that's fine. So let's see how it looks like. Let's see before we continue, let's see how it looks like first. So we need to bring this down. Yeah. What else? What else? I think the text is too small, so we increase the text. It's not small. Text should be normal. So let's work on this first. Let's change the color of our submit button to what's our primary color again? This right here. So what do we have here? Join now. Join now. Let's change our font family to Avena. And font size. This is quite big. Let's see. Bold. Yeah, let's make it bold. So if we save this should be fine. Now it's the more difficult part, not necessarily difficult, but now let's set styling. Now our styling, we want this. So let's say I think this is too big. This is not supposed to be. Let's reduce it to 33. And this should be bigger. Okay, this is fine. This is 50. We are centering both of them. They are on now. Look, this is what I was trying to explain about align items. It centers contents on a vertical level. If I click on start, because this is quite long, that's why you cannot see its movement. Everything goes up. If I click on center, everything comes to the center. If it clicks to end, it comes down. While this one set it on a horizontal level. So I want them centered. So that's for that. This I want this. Okay, let's set the padding. The padding should be um padding should be let's say 15. Padding 15 as well. So this one I want 30. Okay, so let's add this kind of this background, kind of transparent background to it. It's really not hard. You just go to background, click on it. I don't want to change the color. I'm not adding color to it, so I just want no transparent. I just want it to be a bit blurry. It's a little bit blurry. This is working towards white because white is the primary color, but so this one is a bit blurry. So if we save this and let's see what we have. Uh, where am I? Okay, not what we want yet. This is not what we want. We want this, okay? Let's set the padding of this container to 0 top, 0 bottom, and this one to 15. So we save. I'm trying to like figure out something. Okay, this is fair. This is fair. So we're working on this one now. This is fair now. So for this one, so if we save this and load the page, let's see how it is. Now it looks fine, definitely. But I want there to be bit space here, more space here one. Then I want, yeah, I think this is too, it's too like the color is already coming out. The white color is less transparent, so I want this to be more transparent, and I want a bit space here. So that's what we're working on right now. So this should be less transparent, so I'll reduce it. That's one. Now I want add margin. This should be out. So I want to add margin to this top here so that I can have enough space. Yeah, also this image is supposed to be up like here. So I want to go back to the image as well and set it to center. Center will center everything properly. But top center will push it down a bit from the top. You can see it. But you go to left center, it pushes to the right. So center will actually center it. So save and reload. So this is nice. This is nice. This is alright. So our page looks good. So from the beginning, second section, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Oh, we are not done. Let's remove this these empty containers right here. So we'll just delete them. We don't need them anymore. Delete them. That's it. So let's reload our page. Oh, one more thing. We add spaces here. We add more margin bottom here. And also remember I said our color is not pure white, so we'll just change the color a bit and we should be done. So let's add margin bottom. So push our container up a bit, make it 30. That is fine. Then the background color now of the whole page. Now this I'm clicking on the whole page, entire page. So every part that does not have image must have this background color. So we want to set it to be a little bit white, not white, not red, something like this, something like this. Yes. So let's save and reload. So this is our page. It looks so good. So I hope we're able to follow up and we enjoy the process of building this page.